Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor, and it is way past time for more Scuttlebutt. This week's game in the background is brought to you by brand new Tier 10 Premium British battleship, and you can't see the air quotes that I'm using, HMS Incomparable. Now, I've got a first look video on the channel. It's been pretty popular about Incomparable, and if you don't know anything about this ship, you're not sure what you're getting into, I would recommend you go watch that video. I'll put a link down below because, surprisingly, she's pretty well come through testing with almost no changes. The very end, they nerfed her main battery reload a smidge. I think it was 28 seconds previously. Now it's 29 seconds. Oh my goodness, deal breaker. Incomparable is one of the most unique ships I have ever played, ever encountered in World of Warships. She was recently added, as of this patch, literally as of today, it's patch day, to the armory for 31,000 steel. And she will become, I think, the very first battleship that I have bought for steel, because I don't own a Bergonia, and I don't own a Shikishima, and I don't own an Ohio. But as of this morning, I do own an Incomparable. This ship is, I'll give you the quick summary in case you don't want to sit through the whole first look video, which, again, I can recommend. Partly that's a little bit of a self-serving argument, yes, but it is a highlight of all the things that are really interesting about this ship. In short, she has essentially better than Des Moines stealth, married to 20-inch guns, amazing speed, 10-kilometer torpedoes. You can see her consumables list down there on the bottom. She's got 3-kilometer British destroyer hydro, the fancy high-tier British battleship / cruiser heel that regenerates a ton of HP, and an engine boost. With her engine boost going and Swift engaged, you see the symbol there on the bottom of my UI, this ship will just barely edge over 40 knots. Crazy. What do you get in exchange for that? Well, you get the lowest health pool of any Tier 10 battleship, and this ship is incredibly fragile. It is not meant to brawl. It cannot take consistent amounts of damage, but look at what those guns can do. Oh, this is one of my... I played about a half a dozen games over the weekend in Incomparable, trying to kind of get one that I felt really showcased the ship. This is the one that I chose, but I did have several other games that... that really kind of I considered using. I had one where I was basically able to run a Zhao down up against the map board. He had nowhere else to run, and I mean, I'm faster than he is. I'm almost as stealthy as he is. That guy had a bad game. This game on Okinawa, I actually get to push a little bit, which ordinarily in a carrier game with an Incomparable, probably not a thing. But look on my team. I've got a div of friendly destroyers nearby, including 2 Hollands and a Marceau. And the Hollands are what's going to allow me to push because their flak combined with my flak, combined with all of our consistent AA, means that the carrier is really going to struggle to come in and get an attack on me, even when he knows where I am. So anyways, one more thing, I'll point this out real briefly. I do get into some fights with proper battleships like you saw there. I took a hit from the Cristoforo Colombo. Pay attention to those to get a sense of how fragile this ship really is. You'll see a couple of those along the way and you'll go, ooh, yeah, that's the life of Incomparable, but I really enjoy this ship. So have fun with the game. So, it is patch day, but before we talk about patch notes, I want to highlight one other thing. I've got an event coming up in about 10 days here on Twitch. On Saturday the 29th and Sunday the 30th, I'm going to be participating once again in Team League over on Twitch. I've got some videos from the previous season of Team League, Season 2, which I think was done last fall. I can't remember the exact dates anymore. But Team League is probably some of the most fun I have ever had casting a tournament in Warships. The format is a blast, but what really, the players get into it right, but what really makes it enjoyable is the banter and the trash talk and the mild mocking, sometimes not so mild, between the various streamers that show up to cast the event. If you're not familiar with Team League, I'll give you the short version. Basically, 16 streamers, streaming accounts, streamer personalities, whatever, have been invited to come and draft a team of players from the NA, EU, and RU servers that have volunteered to say, we're willing to play in this if you'll have us. And so the team captains, of which I am one, will go through a draft a team. The teams will have about a week to get their strats together and so on and so forth. And then they play in a tournament. There's some prizes for participation. There's some good prizes for winning. But basically, it's not like super mega hyper ultra competitive. It's not very try hard. It's really a ton of fun. And again, what really makes the whole show is the streamers and coming together and kind of trash talking each other as we cast a game. And it is a lot of fun. I cannot recommend it enough. Yes, again, I realize that's a self-serving argument, but if you're looking for something to do, you're looking for some Twitch viewership on the weekend for the 29th and 30th, come on by. It will be a blast. I promise you. This is one of the most fun events, and I promised after I did it last time, I was like, man, I have to do this again. So when they offered it to me, I said, absolutely, let's do this. It is patch day here on NA. It is Wednesday, the 19th of January. Patch 11.0 is here, the first patch of 2022. So what do the Mad Lads in St. Petersburg have in store? All right, well, let's have a look through here. Again, I'll put links down to the patch notes in the video description. Big thing, the big feature for this patch is early access to the new Pan-Asian cruiser line. Now, if you watched my first look videos for the ships in this line, keep an eye on what's going on in port. A whole bunch of these ships have changed, had tweaks, been adjusted through the testing process. Most of these ships did not survive the testing process intact in the same shape that you would have seen them in those videos. Mainly for the worse. Quite a number of these ships have had nerfs and such along the way. So definitely spend some time and kind of familiarize yourself with any ship you may earn during the early access process. One thing I want to point out, we've had a couple of previous early access events where you could basically straight up buy your way to the tier 9 ship through doubloons. Wargaming has kind of taken it one step farther. You can do that, and then in this particular event, as you work through the various currency they've added to buy access to like the early ships, the 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you work your way through all of those bundles, you can actually buy with doubloons straight out access to the new tier 10 ship. Guys, I want you to do me a personal favor. Please, I beg of you, for the love of all that is holy, do not ever spend doubloons on early access tech tree ships. Please. I realize people will do this. I realize they will, and we can't stop them. Not really. But I really wish, just if you're listening to this video, and I don't care if you're like Zath, and you've got 400,000 doubloons laying around, please do not spend them on early access ships. Please. These are tech tree ships. In a couple of months, you'll be able to earn these ships for free, right? All you're doing with rewarding, you're rewarding wargaming for early releasing ships like this, and just, I don't have any. I guess I do have a problem with them offering this because, sooner or later, someone's going to take them up on it, and it really irritates me. So if you're one of my viewers, you're one of my viewers, I've said this all the time on Twitch, please do not spend doubloons on early access ships. What else is coming in this patch? Well, asymmetric battles are back. Now, this is a concept that they've tested before that sounded really awesome when they first announced it. I was really excited for this, but then I played a few of these and discovered, you know what? Being outnumbered basically means you're dead. It doesn't really, the tier difference is not a huge, it's not a huge balancing thing. At least it wasn't at the tiers they were playing before. So we'll see what happens this time around. They're going to tiers, I think it's 7 and 8. Will be you'll have a lot of, and then the 9 and 10 will have fewer. We'll see. I remain unconvinced. I'll probably try it a few times. Maybe a few of those games will come to the channel. But yeah, don't hold your breath. So we'll see. This is an idea that I like, but I still don't feel like they've gotten the execution of it right. Super ships are now going to be available in randoms. Previously, you could only spy and earn and play these ships in ranked battles. They will now be available in random battles. Yep, it's coming. Now, for my part, I'm not overly fussed by this, right? I saw some super ships in ranked battles along the way, and only a handful of these ships really kind of stood out to me as fun and impactful. The two that really leap to mind are Annapolis and Zorky. Not because they're Their alternate fire mode is so amazing, right? More that the base ship, the reload, all the mix of everything that comes with it is just really, really filthy good. So there's a couple of these ships that I think are worth playing. But there's like I'm not a huge fan of the big battleships. In general, those ships just feel like, yeah, you got more firepower, but it's just more HP for me to farm, right? It takes me longer to kill you, but your firepower, like in those two battleships, the super ships, does not feel significantly impactful to me. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure there will be people that play these ships that make a liar out of me, but I am not a tremendous fan of most of them. So they're coming to randoms. Div stars are back. That is a thing now. If you remember the old system, basically you just get rewards for your clan or your guild or whatever for divvying up with your, well, and for you personally, for divvying up with your clanmates, which is awesome. So this will be a great patch, kind of encouraging you to get out there, earn some div stars for divvying up with your clanmates, and also don't forget the new div achievements, division only achievements now have been added to the game several patches ago. I mean, again, there's no like tangible reward for earning them, but they are really fun, and earning those just it lets you know that your div like did cool things and played awesome, and that always feels good. So definitely check that out. One of the biggest and best bits of news from this patch, subs are out. Submarines are out for the moment. Here in World of Warships, and good riddance. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. You might have missed it. Yeah, there was that big battleship hit I was talking about. You might have missed it, but I do have a Grozavoy battle report where I kind of share some of my thoughts on submarines. I won't belabor the point here. I'll put a link to the video down below. You can check that out if you want. Bottom line is, right now, and apparently Wargaming to their credit, I'm really unhappy with how submarines are implemented mechanically. They don't seem to have a good role. Their role seems to be, let's generate chaos. Awesome. But then when you can have more chaos in a game than destroyers, as I had in that game on Grozavoy, there were three submarines, 2 destroyers on each team. It was like, what fresh hell is this? I could not believe what I was seeing. It was not enjoyable. So I'm glad these are gone. They're gone. Guys, submarines are going to be out of the game for at least 2 patches, at least. They've committed they won't bring them back any earlier than 11.2. So basically, from right now, you're in mid-January, you're probably looking at mid-March before you see a submarine again in a random battle, and yay. Brawls are returning. The 24th and 31st of January, we're going to have Tier 5 Brawls. The 7th through the 14th of February, we're going to have Tier 7 Brawls. I'm looking forward to this. Brawls are always a great time. I may or may not be able to stream Brawls. I'll have to see how this goes. That weekend for the Brawls that I would love to do it is, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the Team League event. However, I can probably maybe sneak in like that Thursday, which would be the 27th, I think. I might be able to sneak in a Brawl stream there. I'll have to chat with my mods and my guys on Discord and see if I can round up some players. Definitely will probably be streaming some Brawls around the Tier 7 time. I love Tier 7. So many good Tier 7 ships. Carrier fighters have been standardized by tier in terms of detection, speed, and health now. This is a thing not completely unlike what they did all those moons ago with battleship secondaries. So that's kind of been done now to carrier fighters. I think Bayern, new Tier 6 French Premium Bayern, is the only one that escapes this sort of change because her fighters are one of her really unique things about her, and so they've left those alone. Everybody else's fighters have been changed in some way. There's a whole bunch of new content added with no real release. If you look through the patch notes, no real release date or info. You get some really interesting info about, what is this? I'm curious. So keep an eye out for that. There's some events mentioned. You're like, what is that? Really good news for fans of Tier 5 Premium British Battleship HMS Agincourt. Agincourt was previously only available as a drop out of some of these Battle of Jutland containers. The Jutland containers themselves are getting changed, and then Agincourt herself is now going to be available in the armory for doubloons. This is great news. Agincourt is only a Tier 5 battleship, but she is silly fun to play. I cannot recommend this ship enough. I don't know what she costs. I didn't go look this morning when I logged into the patch, but I'll just say this. If you've got a few doubloons laying around and you feel comfortable affording an Agincourt when you go into the armory and look, pick one up. It is totally worth it. The ship is hilariously fun to play. 11.1 has now been officially announced, next patch, so you have 4 more weeks of playing your Grosse Kurfürst and your Khabarovsk out of the tech tree. In mid-February, with the release of the very next patch, those ships will be yanked out of their positions in the tech tree and replaced with Preußen, I got it right this time, Preußen, and Delny, okay, guys? So be working on earning your XP, you know, play your Freddy, play your Tashkent, and get in there and earn those XP, because you will have to repurchase Preußen and Delny once they are added into the game. I was going to say, you will earn some compensation when you lose Kurfürst and Kaba, but it's only in the form of credits. You'll get back some credits for those ships. If you own the ship or you have access to it, you'll get the freemium version, right? Just like we did with Moskva. But you will have to re-grind Friedrich der Grosse and I'm sorry, spend time playing Friedrich der Grosse and Tashkent, because you will have to repurchase Preußen and Delny once they have been added to the game. And then last but not least, Italian destroyers have come to the game for super testing. So we should see some first look videos coming on the way. I have not spent any time looking at the stats of these ships. My chat, when these ships were announced a little while ago, was just their eyes were bugging out of their heads. What is happening? So I'm going to be really curious to see what stats these ships have on them when I sit down to build these first look videos. It's going to be a fun time. Those should be coming soon-ish over the next couple of weeks. It's a busy stretch here with all of the, you know, the event coming up in later in the month, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff going on in my real life, so I'm going to try and squeeze in probably, if I'd like to try and just dump all these videos, like just one a day if I can, but I might space them out. They might be three a week for a bit till we get through all of them. It looks like there's at least probably, I like to do the low tier destroyers all as one video, so there's probably at least 6 or 7 videos there, and then starting with the 5 on up, everybody should get their own video. All right, guys, that's it. It's patch day. Get out there, have a good time. I will see you on Twitch Thursday night for my first stream of the new patch. In the meantime, wash your hands, be safe, and I'll catch you later.